Come on a delectable journey through the delicious steps of Disney dining plans. Join us as we savor the taste of Disney. Welcome, everyone, to Earstravagent Adventures, your portal to the world of magical travel. I'm Rachel alongside Mackenzie. Abby is not here today, but we will be your guides to the enchanting realms of Disney, Universal, and beyond. Join us to uncover hidden treasures, culinary delights, and insider tips that'll transform vacations into extraordinary escapades. We're your go-to source of all things magical. Tune in every other week as we unlock a world of wonder and memories. Welcome aboard, adventurers. And to start off, we have a little bit of theme park news.
Yeah.
Starting with the trams are coming back.
No. So something that I never use, but also very exciting.
Yes. I use them sometimes in Epcot just because I'm not really a Hollywood Studios person. I go to Epcot when we drive, but I didn't realize the ones at Hollywood Studios were back. I thought it was just Epcot. So
isn't it? Yeah, Hollywood Studios as well. So I actually will be down there next week, and I will have a car for the first time ever. So I might have to try it out. So
if I didn't write down the return date. You'll have to let us know. If I don't know if they're going to be back at that time. I know they're coming. I don't know if they said the date though.
I thought they already started. Must be. Let me see.
Oh, well, you'll be able to tell us when we do your trip recap. That's exciting.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we got more details on the expansion that's happening at Fantasy Springs at Tokyo Disney Sea, which to me, the most exciting thing is there's going to actually be a Snuggly Duckling restaurant.
That is awesome. I would definitely book a trip just to do that.
Yes. And there's going to be a lantern ride. So Rapunzel is getting her justice over at Tokyo Disney Sea. And there's going to be a Frozen Land, Peter Pan. So I'm planning on going in 2026. So this will be all done for that. But very exciting. Yeah. And then also international, the 30th anniversary entertainment is ending very soon. So Disneyland Paris did announce what will be replacing it. So Alice in Wonderland stage show, a new daytime parade, and a new fireworks spectacular is debuting in 2024. Along with the Disneyland Hotel is reopening. Reservations are going to start September 12th for 2024. That's
super exciting as well.
Yes. So hopefully when we go next year, we'll get to stay there. It's top to bottom refurb of the Disneyland Hotel. And this one, similar to, I think one of the Asian ones, has views of Main Street.
That's awesome. Oh.
Yes.
Have you stayed there before? I forget if you said that's where you were.
Not at that one because it was a little expensive and now I don't care. I want to stay in it.
It's on the bucket list.
Yeah, but the other two times we stayed at the Sequoia Lodge and the Art of Marvel Hotel, so we haven't stayed there yet. But I have to now.
Oh yeah, no, I can't wait to see the photos of that.
Yeah.
The tram started testing yesterday. That's what it was. So
okay, well then maybe they'll be officially up and running by the time you go.
Yeah, exactly. Just to recap. Yeah.
So nice. Report back.
I will.
Yes. Now, awesome. My favorite segment. Mackenzie, where'd you get those ears?
Okay, so these are my brand new Factory 55 Epcot ears, and they actually glow in the dark. I have not actually tested them out because they just got here last week. So, but I will be wearing them next week for sure.
Nice. Did you only get Epcot or did you get some other attachments?
I got some other attachments as well. So one I will be wearing for our next show. And then, so I'll keep those a surprise. And then I got the Disney World castle. So, and I think Abby has these.
Oh yeah, I have those for sure.
Oh, you do? I knew someone did. So.
I mean, Abby might too, but exciting. If she does, then whenever we all take a trip together, we can all match.
Exactly. And I was trying to get the fairy godmother's ears, but they were sold out. And I just got the email yesterday that they are back. So I feel like I have to buy them.
Yeah. Well, I follow them religiously on Instagram, and they just got back from Norway.
Oh,
so Yeah, they did like a big restock today. Fridays are always their restock days, so they did a big restock because they're back from their trip.
Yeah, awesome.
You know, little things that people don't really care about, but I'm going to tell you anyway. So mine are.
Yeah, where are yours from? They're gorgeous.
Yes, thank you. They're from Lovely Lily & Co. She makes floral ears as well as the diamond ones. Her shop is actually still open. So I'll make sure to link her in the show notes because she is still selling ears.
Nice. Well, and they go really, really well with your hair as well.
Thanks. I had a rainbow shirt on. So I was like, rainbow shirt, rainbow hair, rainbow flower ears. That's what we're doing today.
Amazing. I love it.
So how about we do a quick word from our sponsor and then we'll get into our episode for the day.
Yeah, sounds good. So this episode of Earstravagent Adventures is brought to you by Wave of a Wand Travel, specializing in family theme park travel. Wave of a Wand Travel knows all the insider secrets and hidden gems to make your trip absolutely magical. Whether you're planning a visit to the magnificent wizarding world, exploring an enchanting kingdom, or diving into an underwater paradise, their expert team of travel planners has you covered. If you're ready to wave goodbye to all the stress of planning and wave hello to a journey filled with joy, laughter, and wonder, reach out to Wave of a Wand Travel today. Visit their website at www.waveofawandtravel.com or give them a call at 201-401-5378 and let the magic begin. Remember, when it comes to family theme park travel, Wave of a Wand Travel is the name you can trust to make your dreams come true. Now let's dive into magical stories and unforgettable moments on Earstravagant Adventures.
Thank you, Wave of a Wand. And this week we decided it's going to be some educational content. And to celebrate the return of the dining plan, we are at Walt Disney World. We are going to dive into what the dining plan is and why you should get it, because I feel like we both are big dining plan supporters. Yeah?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us what is included with, so there's, well, first before that, there's two dining plans. There's the quick service dining plan and there's a Disney dining plan. There used to be like 6 and then there used to be 4 and now there's 2.
For that quick moment in 2020 or end of 2019, we were going to have that 4th plan, which was going to be like my favorite. I thought that was going to be like our go-to, but that went away with COVID.
Oh, that hybrid one?
Yes, that hybrid one. I thought I'd have a lot of clients who are like perfect for that. But we're excited to see that at least 2 plans are back. And the most popular, I think, of all is the Disney dining plan.
Yes.
And so that includes 1 table service credit, 1 quick service credit, 1 snack, which is different than its predecessor in 2020, 1 refillable mug, and what did I say, snack already?
Yes.
Okay. So I think that's everything included.
Yes. So before we dive into the quick service dining plan, let's just talk all about the Disney dining plan then. So it's, I think you said it, but I'm going to emphasize it for, those in the back. It's per night, not per day.
Yes, per night of your stay.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident you said that because you're just as seasoned as I am, and we know it's per night, but I just want to make sure everybody heard her say per night. Now, but the resort refillable mug, that one's per stay. So like you don't get a new mug every night. Who would want that many mugs, by the way? But it's and ages 3 and up. So if you have a child that's 2 and under, or under the age of 3, they are not included on the dining plan because Disney's assuming they're going to eat off your plate. So if you order your child that's younger than 3 something off the menu, you do have to pay for it.
Right. So if it's a buffet, they do get their own plate from the buffet. They can, get whatever you want. But if it's an a la carte meal, then they can either get some sort of like small plate. They often will offer mac and cheese or some sort of pasta or some sort of small entree. Or they expect that because the kids eat so little that you might share something off of your plate for them. You are able to purchase them a child's meal, off the kids menu. You just have to pay for it at that point.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of buffets, that's one of the ways I feel like we can maximize the plan. So one of the things that we like to recommend our clients is how to best use the dining plan. And buffets are one, because some of the buffets are like pretty expensive, but it's a buffet. So you get like a ton of food. For me, I tell my clients to not use the dining plan on restaurants that take 2 dining credits. Do you do the same thing?
Same thing. It is a poor use of your dining plan. It uses up 2 credits, which means that the cost per your meal, cost per credit is more. How does that work? It's more, right? So you're getting less for your money.
Yeah. So I guess we should back up for a second. So with either one of these dining plans, you get credits. So as we explained there, you get a certain amount of things per night, but you get all of your credits at the beginning of your stay. You could use them all in one day if you wanted to. We, of course, do not recommend that, but you totally could. So you get all your credits up front and you can use them however you want. Now, when we say 2 dining credits, places like Be Our Guest, Cinderella's Royal Table, Hoop-de-Doo Review, those restaurants, instead of just being 1 credit per person, they're 2 credits per person. And exactly like Mackenzie just said, if you're using 2 credits to eat at these places, that makes it a lot more expensive than eating at like Crystal Palace.
Right.
Right. Because Be Our Guest, I think, is like $75 for adult, and Crystal Palace is like $65. So if you use 2 dining credits at Be Our Guest, that means that's like
the cost per credit. It's like 30 something, right?
Way more. So, we don't recommend it, because you can still eat anywhere, right? Like, and you just, when the cast member comes over to take your payment, if they ask you if you're on the dining plan, you just tell them no, you want to pay cash or charge to your room. What are some other ways that you tell your clients to maximize your dining plan?
So I would absolutely say the snacks. Use your snacks wisely. So snacks are a great way to get like a breakfast, or like extend it so that you have something, bigger. Don't use your snacks on items like a bottle of water. You can if you want, but go and get the, morning pastry and, be fine with your breakfast that way. And so, or like a light lunch, depending on however you decide to set your meals that day. Using snacks for food and maximizing that is a great way to do it.
With snacks, my benchmark is if it's $5 or more, that's a great use of your snack. If it's less than that, just pay for it out of your pocket.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I mean, those Mickey pretzels aren't going to eat themselves, guys.
Exactly. So, and just make sure you know what's part of your, what's part of that credit too. So
one of the easy, and are they back on the menu? You'll have to report back and tell me, because I don't know if they took them off or not, but they used to have that little snack credit logo, that purple and white logo.
I don't think they got rid of them. So they were all there. So I think that like you'll see them like around Food and Wine, especially. They're still there.
Yeah, so. Food and Wine. The festivals are a great place to use your snack credits. And like we said, you get all of your credits ahead of time. So if you're like, well, I'm not going to use my snacks during the parks, I'm just going to use my snacks at the festival, do that. That's a great use of your credit. But you'll know that it's on the dining plan because the little snack logo, which again, it's like a checkerboard square, which is this weird color, purple and white. That's what tells you it's on the dining plan.
Yeah. And it's a use it or lose it system. So don't leave snacks on. I feel like snacks are the ones that people always leave on the table, or don't pick up. And so using those to pick up some souvenirs, to take home with you, you can, get some Rice Krispie treats or anything like that. If you, had a favorite snack, don't leave those credits, because you don't get refunded, and you have up until midnight of the day of your checkout to use those.
I was just about to say that. And I wonder now, though, that they cut back on the snacks, if it's going to be that same situation, because exactly like you just said, I had clients all the time, like at the end of their trip, they're like, I have 10 snack credits left. Like, well, go to the candy store and just fill up on stuff. But now that it's one snack per person per night, I think it's going to be easier to use.
Yeah, I agree. I think you won't have as many people, you know, calling you to be like, oh, how do I use this? But yep, snacks, souvenirs to bring home, little treats, always a good way to do it. So
yeah. And another way to maximize the dining plan is with something that's super simple like your flights. So if you arrive late, don't do a dining that day. Save your dining for the rest of the week. And if you have a late departure on your way home, have like a really nice breakfast at like Topolino's or Ohana or something. So that way you don't plan it, or vice versa, right? You have an early arrival, but a super early departure, right? So not having a dining plan for every single day, including your arrival and departure day, because one of those days you won't be able to use your credits because it's per night, not per day. I think we're going to say that a lot so people don't forget it's per night, not per day.
And if you forget on any receipt that you get, or even, I don't know if it's in the app, but on the receipt.
It is in the app. That was a new feature, I think, in 2019. Yeah.
Okay, great. So you'll be able to see it on a receipt in your app. You'll be able to track your credits for your party as well.
Yes. Have somebody be in charge of that, because honestly, cast members can make mistakes sometimes. Maybe they forget to do your dining plan, or maybe they charge too much. Like, pay attention to it. Just don't blindly do it. Because I had that happen once. A cast member charged me too much you can order pizza, by the way. It's not the most economical thing to do, but you can order pizza to your room, and you need to make sure they charge you for one person, not two people.
Right. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So what is included in a table service credit?
Table service credit is a beverage, an appetizer, and an entree.
And that beverage is non-alcoholic or alcoholic if you're 21 over, which is a great thing to know if you are looking for a, you know, some sort of beverage to help you get through that hot weather.
I think there's a $15 max on the beverage. So like,
right.
Something like that. You can't get like
get a bottle
most
of
expensive
wine.
glass of wine. Yeah, exactly. But it's a nice change, because they just rolled out with that in 2018 or 2019. It was relatively new. It's like, thank goodness, because adults like to have an adult beverage with dinner. Like, we're not trying to get smashed, but I like to have a glass of wine, especially if I'm having pasta or pizza, whatever. Yeah.
No, totally. So, and that's a great way to maximize your credit if you are going to decide to have, you know, something, you know, put it as part of your meal, so you're not paying, you know, while you're drinking around the world or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah, because that's a glass of wine is more than a Coca-Cola. So have a glass of wine and not have any guilt about it, because it's included with your dining plan. The only bummer is you can't have a dessert instead of an entree, though.
You can't, instead of an
appetizer. Thank you. Yeah. You can't switch it.
Yeah, they used to let you do that in some places, but unfortunately that's, I guess, gone.
Yeah, like I'm sure now if you get a good cast member, they will. But it's one of those things, like, universally the answer is going to be no. You can ask your server, but usually because I'm not a big appetizer person, but I like a dessert. And a lot of times the answer I would get would be no. So you can definitely ask politely, please. We both encourage manners.
Always.
But
get more flies
a bit more with honey than vinegar. Yeah. So ask, but just prepare for the answer to be no. And in that same vein, you can't switch a table service for a quick service or a quick service for a table service.
That's good. I think that happened to my clients one time where they accidentally used them. So I think gone are the days that that could be mixed up.
Yeah. And because I think when, like you said, that dining plan that was like super flexible, you could do stuff like that. But now you cannot do that.
But can you still get 3 snack credits for a quick service? Do you know if they've rolled that out?
No.
That's not changeable too. Okay.
Yeah, they're
way to extend your, you know, eating around the world.
Yeah, they're going to be pretty rigid with these plans. So like my opinion on it is at least we have it.
Yes.
Like if they're going to be strict about it, cool. I'm just glad we have it. And the reason we love the dining plans is because it makes your vacation an all-inclusive. Like I tell all my clients that this way, when you show up, all you have to do is pay for gratuity and souvenirs.
Exactly.
I don't have to do any additional budgeting. I know that it's already taken care of. And oh, by the way, it saves you about 20% on your overall food cost. So 15 to 20%, I think, is the average. So like you're saving money too, and it's all paid up in front.
Yeah. Yeah. So every time we talk about dining with my clients, or, I guess we will be talking about it for the 2024 is I look through, and I'm sure you do this too, Rachel, look through their dining itinerary and just, kind of give them an idea of like what would be a good use of a credit or what wouldn't. So again, not using it on those signature dining. If they have a character meal and they have, a non-character meal where they're paying a la carte versus a standard price, those a la carte meals are usually going to be less expensive. So oftentimes not going to be the best use of a table service credit, because if you are going to do a couple table service character meals, then you want to look to see what the overall cost is and see if that's a better deal. Oftentimes you're going to see those are, what did we say, 50 depends, 59 now for adults. So
I think that's for like breakfast too, because I think dinner's I think it's at least 65, if not more.
Yeah. So if the plan, we didn't talk about cost yet, right? So the table service, the Disney dining plan. So that's the one table service credit, one quick service credit, one snack per night of your stay, plus the resort mug as well for the entire length of stay, is $94.28 per adult and $29.69 per child. And a lot of the times my clients will be like, wait, no, I'm not going to spend that much a day. And it's like, no, just look at the menus. You can see the costs on the Disney website in the menus, and it will show you exactly how much. Those prices are before gratuity, so you can add up or ballpark what you're going to have, do the research beforehand and see what's going to maximize your table service or your credits.
Yeah, and that's the budget I give people anyways. Like you need a budget $100 per person per night for food, and that's what the dining plan costs. So it's like you just might as well. So that way you're not having to worry about budgeting. Because I have so many clients who are like, I just want to pay this off now. Cool. We can do that now with the dining plan. Not in 2023. It doesn't come back until January 9th. So even marathon weekend people, you can't have the dining plan. I'm sorry. But everyone else for 2024, yes.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you brought up the I totally forgot to add pricing. So thank you for bringing that up, because that's a great point to make. That cost is about the same as what you'd be paying anyway. So you might as well just bundle it all together.
Yeah. And it is more than what we saw, but we expect those prices to go up. So, what we saw in 2020. So yes, they're more, but it is on par for what you're paying on site. And also, like Rachel said, you're paying about the same. You're able to prepay, pre-plan, and then you don't have to think about, oh, I'm going to be, thinking about ordering the steak versus, the burger or things that, you can just not worry about that cost.
Whatever you want.
Spend all the money on your ears.
Exactly. We are big supporters, obviously, of spending money on ears. So what what 3 of your favorite places to use the dining plan?
Across the entire
whole property. So resort hotels included. And this specifically, we're talking about the table service, because we'll talk about quick service in a second. But what are your 3 favorite for table service?
Okay. So I skip all of the signature dining, like we talked about. So for me, it's going to be characters. So I'm going to say, oh, this is so tough. We are always big fans of Tusker House. So I would say, character meal there. We did Hollywood and Vine, and my daughter absolutely loved it. And I feel like I need to give you a non-character option. Skipper Canteen's not my like favorite use of it, but it's such a good option. I feel like a little bit of a sleeper in Magic Kingdom. So let's go.
It's the one that I recommend the most, to be honest with you. When
too.
people ask me where do you eat at Magic Kingdom, I'm like, I eat at Skipper Canteen. Like, Be Our Guest is nice, but it is expensive. Skipper Canteen has interesting food.
Yeah, and I would say Ohana too. I feel like Ohana was always a great use of our
Ohana. Yes. That's one of mine. Ohana is an excellent for the amount of food that you get and the experience and the quality. Like, that one is such a good use. So I'm going to go opposite you, and I'm going to say, like all resorts, Toledo's to me is really good. The food quality is top notch, but it also has great views of Hollywood Studios and Epcot. So if you time it right, you can see the fireworks from up there. And again, gorgeous, gorgeous resort. And I really like Sanaa.
Oh, that's a good one too. We've done that
at
one
Animal
before.
Kingdom Lodge, because it's got the view of the safari. The savannah. Sorry, not safari. The savannah at Animal Kingdom Lodge. It's not in the park, and the food is really good and big portion sizes. So like, we got the theme parks, we got the resorts. There's great uses.
Yes, definitely, all across the board. And just a little tip for Sanaa: make sure that you book it so that you're there during some sort of daylight, so you can actually see what's outside.
Yes, because if it's dark, the animals may be there, but you won't see them.
Right, exactly. They're there.
So before we go to quick service, anything else you want to add about the table service dining plan?
Yes. The resort mug just overall. So the resort mug is something, it is aptly named because it is something that you can use at the resorts. It is not something that you can use in the park. It is something that you can use. Is there a timer on it? I always forget.
There is now. Yes.
Yeah. So it's something that you can go to any of the quick service or little marts in the resorts and fill up your favorite hot or cold beverage. And it's you get one for each person that's over the age of 3. And I would say that is a great way if you're a soda drinker, a coffee drinker like myself, it's a great way to save yourself a few, dollars here or there. So, but again, you can't fill up in the parks. So it is something.
Which is such a bummer. Like, why not? Literally, why not? Like, Universal has all of those Coke freestyle machines. Like, why does Disney not do that? You charge, soapbox. You charge so much for those dang resort refillable mugs, and I can only refill it at a resort. Like, that is very inconvenient. Like, give me a couple freestyle Coke machines in the theme parks.
What is that a la carte? If you were to not buy if you were not buying the dining plan and then you're buying, what is it, 21?
I think it's 21, and it's for I think it goes up for your length of stay, depending on how long you're staying. But yeah, it's like $21, $22 for a plastic mug.
Plastic mug. But you do get your soda. I mean, if you're like my brother who drinks, his Diet Coke probably has, 2 or 3 a day. Like, it ends up being worth it if you're spending time at the resort. But
And you can get your coffee in it. So you can get some fresh brewed coffee. That's an option too. And you can go to any resort. So like, if you're at Magic Kingdom and you want to take a break at Grand Floridian and you're not staying at Grand Floridian, you can still fill it up there. When we had our resort refillable mugs, we stopped at the Riviera because I love the Riviera. The Riviera has a freestyle machine, and we filled it up with my vanilla Coke Zero, and I was so happy. I'm not a soda drinker, so like, for me, the resort refillable mugs really aren't a thing. Yeah. But if I can get a fountain vanilla Coke Zero, I am happy. Fountain specifically.
Oh, I know. There's soda drinkers and they're fountain sodas. I don't know. I don't know about it. So
they're so different.
I know.
So Fox, they're so different.
So yeah.
Yes.
It's so that's what I would chime in. So about the resort mugs. Good, nice little savings right there. So if you break that down and take out that, you're looking at like 74. Well, no, I guess you can't really break it down like that, but it's still a good use of your money.
Yeah, and you can bring those cups into the parks. They're not super easy to carry around, but you can bring them in the parks and you can refill them with water all over the place. So you can they're still usable. So I like them, and they're included with both the quick service and the Disney dining plan. So why don't we transition to the quick service dining plan? Do you want to tell us what's included with that one?
Okay, so the major difference here is there's no table service. Obviously, it's aptly named for quick service. And so you get 2 quick service meals, 1 snack, and 1 per night of your stay. And then you also get the resort mug as well.
Do you have the cost in front of you?
Yes, I think this one is $57 per adult and $23.83 per child. So what's included in your quick service meal? You get an entree and a beverage, alcoholic or non-alcoholic included. Do you get an average dessert?
I think you do. I'm gonna have to double check because it's not just an entree.
Yeah, there is more to it. So, which ends up being a lot of food because Disney portions are, sizable for sure. So yes. I have a lot of people who are like, why would I do this plan? And so for me, I would say it's great for people who don't feel like they're going to be doing a ton of sit down meals. If you want to be a little bit more of like the fly by the seat of your pants and just, be mobile ordering, it's a great option. You will be ordering food at some point in the parks. So you have to consider, this might be a good option for you. If you're going to be just kind of running around and, you want to run over to Columbia Harbor House, this is a good plan for you.
Yeah. And even people are like, oh, I'm not going to use this. Yes, you are. Because if you're not going to do a sit down restaurant, you're going to eat
somewhere.
Nobody's just eating on snacks alone. Like you're going to eat somewhere. And they actually changed the quick service now. So it's just an entree and a drink.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah. Cause it used to have like I think it used to include a dessert.
Yeah. I think
so
too.
and now it doesn't, which is fine because a lot of these quick service desserts are like garbage. So that's fine with me.
Yeah.
But so for the quick service, if you're not doing the table service dining plan, the Disney dining plan, literally, why would you not do the quick service? You're going to eat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of my favorite. Oh yes. I'm mentally coming up with my quick service list.
So that's the inclusions, and the quick service dining plan is a lot simpler because we talked about a lot of it with the Disney dining plan. Because if you guys can't tell, that's the one that we sell the most of because most of the time people want one sit down meal at least for every day that they're in the theme parks. So that one tends to make the most sense because it's going to cover your trip. But the quick service dining plan also has a time and a place. It's a lower investment and you're still getting your food and you're still saving that. I think it's 15% on the menu prices if you're going to smart places. So my top recommendation for this is Saltuli Canteen at Animal Kingdom.
Yep.
Yes. First of all, the portion sizes are gigantic. If you guys haven't been before, it is a little more on the adventurous side of food. I don't think so, but I like to eat lots of different things. But for kids that only eat chicken nuggets, it is a little more adventurous.
Yeah.
But it's a make your own protein bowl. So you choose your base, which could be like a potato hash or noodles or rice or salad. Right. And then you choose your protein and then you choose your sauces. It's huge. I never finish it. It's like a giant salad bowl. And then the drinks are really good too. But it's freaking huge. So like that, great use of my quick service credit.
Oh, totally. And we were just there in April. We ate there because that is like my go-to in Animal Kingdom for sure. My husband got some sort of bowl that had shrimp in it. I had I have the tuna, and so if those are included on the dining plan, those are some great. I actually have that as like one of my top 3 as well. So I totally agree with you.
Yes. Magic Kingdom for me is a toss-up because I don't really use my quick service at the resorts because when I'm doing quick service, I'm in the parks. I'm not going to go to a resort and do that. I'll throw one in though because it just needs to be mentioned. But at Magic Kingdom, it's a toss-up for me between Pecos Bills and Columbia Harbor House.
Oh my God, they're both written on my paper.
Because they're so good.
Yeah, they're so good. Those are my go-tos for sure.
And it's so much food.
Yeah, definitely. So, oh, yep, totally agree with you. So Pecos Bills, if I'm in the mood for some, Mexican, or obviously Columbia Harbor House, if you're looking for some seafood options.
Yeah, and they have non-fried stuff. I get the shrimp skewer, and it's with the hush puppies, and it's absolutely perfect.
Yep.
Now, I'm not a Hollywood Studios girly, so you're gonna have to give us your quick service favorite for Hollywood Studios.
Oh, so I only we're like Woody's Lunchbox fans.
Okay, I only eat at Woody's Lunchbox too, but I feel like Docking Bay 7 is a better value.
Yes, I agree. So Docking Bay 7 is another one that I think is great, but with a 3-year-old, Woody's Lunchbox and that adult lemonade is perfect for midday. So,
well, and you can't go wrong with a grilled cheese and tomato basil soup.
yeah, I could eat that every day. So
it's so good. Now,
yeah.
Epcot though, I don't, because I always go during a festival, so I never eat a quick service location at Epcot because I'm always eating food at a festival. So I want to say the Boulangerie, but I don't feel like that's going to be a good value. That's a good like grab something and go.
So my go-to is La Cantina. So because you can get we love Mexican. So it's a running joke. So we will do La Cantina and you can get a margarita.
Win-win, because you got that alcoholic beverage on your thing.
Yeah, exactly. So that value right there. So the margarita alone, we go there too much. I think it's like $16. And so if you are spending that plus whatever your entree is, you're getting way more of a value with your quick service there.
Well, and the entree is like 15 too.
I was gonna say, yeah, you're definitely saving some bucks there. So
smart use of a quick service. Yeah.
Big portions for sure.
What else do you have on you? No, I have one, but what else do you have on your list?
No, those were it. So I was just writing them down quickly before we were talking, and those are my 4.
So the only other one, the only reason it came to my head was because I just told a client this the other day, but it honestly is my absolute favorite, is Captain Cook's at the Polynesian.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
It's such a good quick service location. And again, giant portions, and it's really good food and it's really easy to access because like every resort has a quick service location. Mm-hmm. Some are definitely better than others, but Captain Cook's like solid. Everything I've had there, I really enjoy, and it's a good use of your quick service credit.
Yep, I totally agree. That's a good one.
Yeah. So anything that we didn't mention already about the dining plan that we want to throw in? I know this is one of our shorter episodes, but there's only 2 dining plans. If there was 6, we'd have to do a 2-parter.
Yeah, seriously. So things that you can do and not do with the dining plan. So you can't split credits with you can't order like a single entree, right?
And share it between 2 people?
Share it between 2 people. And yeah, so that's that. You can, however, if you have a friend visiting for the day and they don't have the dining plan because they're not staying on site, well, actually, we should talk about that too. That is something you can use a dining credit to pay for them if they're not associated. You would use one of your credits, and it's not encouraged, but you can do that.
Yeah, that's a great point because the credits aren't attached to a person. Sorry.
Yeah, so they like Rachel was just saying, the credits are pooled between your entire party. So if you have 4 people going in your party, 4 adults, those dining credits are all, if I was, staying with Rachel, I could use all of her credits. if I decided.
You'd be fighting, but you could.
Yes, exactly. But yes, we could absolutely share credits. Or if I was doing a sit-down meal that she wasn't going to, and she decided to do an extra quick service, I did extra table service, we could, kind of swap out. Just plan ahead with your party.
Yeah, and that's one of the great things about being given all the credits up front. You can do whatever you want with them. So you're not beholden to doing these specific things on these specific days, because maybe I got really hot that day and I wasn't hungry and I didn't eat the snack and I didn't eat a quick service, because when I'm hot, I don't eat a whole lot. So it's like, and then the next day I'm starving because I didn't eat the day before. It's nice to have the flexibility to like do whatever you want. Or if somebody comes and visits you, you're like, hey, use one of my credits. It is flexible. It's not, but it is.
Yes. And then you can't use like a kid's credit, right?
Well, yeah, like I can't use a kid's credit.
Right, exactly. So we, just noted, for that. So you do have to kind of stay in your age category, things like that. So
unfortunately.
Yeah. But for a quick service, if Rachel and I were going together and like, she's super hot and I'm like, oh, I'm starving, like, she could, go up and get something a la carte. And she's like, oh, just get like some chips. And then I could go get my, margarita and my tacos and use my credit, and she doesn't have to. So we can, do something like that as well.
Yeah, it's nice, and we highly recommend it just because, like we've said 100 times, you're paying for everything in advance. Like I cannot tell you how much I love getting home and I'm like, oh, I only spent $200, and it's because of, well, it's never $200. Let's be real about that. Oh, I spent a smaller amount of money than I expected because it was just gratuities and just things that I bought. Like,
right.
Even as I'm a Disney Vacation Club member, even when I stay on points, I'll add the dining plan because I don't want to out of pocket stuff when I'm on vacation. I want it, the girl math thing that's going around TikTok right now. I girl math stuff. I've already paid for it. So it's free now. So all of these places I'm eating, it's free.
Yep. And so the update that just came out, you can add the dining plan to not, what is it? It's like a
basic package. So if you book a room only and you don't need tickets because you're an annual pass holder or you're getting tickets from a cheer competition, because those are coming up, we can still book a ticketless package for you, meaning that you'll get the perks of having the policies of a package, and also we can add the dining plan on. So even if you don't need tickets or you are previously have tickets, what have you, you can still add the dining plan.
Right. Which is great.
Which is really nice.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Any last thoughts before we close out for today?
It's not something to sleep on. So I would definitely, calculate, make your dining plans, make your wish list, calculate out if it makes sense for you, and, ask your travel agent to add it to your package.
Yeah. Talk with our specialists over at Wave of a Wand. And, this can also be added later on too. If you decide once we have the conversation about your dining plan, what reservations you want your advisor to make at that 60-day mark. If you get there and you're like, oh, dang, I actually want enough dining reservations that I probably should add the dining plan, we can add it on. You can add the dining plan on up until basically 14 days prior to arrival. So
I added it a little bit closer to a trip one time, but they do like to have it, on before it definitely has to be on before you arrive.
Yeah, 100% before you arrive. Ideally before final payment is made, so before 30 days, but there is some leniency there. So, know that with your package, we can make the change. Like if you didn't add it on because you're like, I don't see the value, and then we talk to you about your dining plans, and you're like, oh, actually,
yes.
Hey, by the way, can you add this on? Absolutely, we would love to.
Yeah.
So make sure you reach out to our friends over at Wave of a Wand. They would love to help you talk more. Hopefully this gave you a nice basis for the dining plan, but they can talk with you about it even more. Make sure it's the right fit for your family, because everything we do, we want it to be a perfect fit for you. So thank you for tuning in to our dining plan discussion, and we cannot wait to see you in the theme parks. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.